How's Atlanta? Good. I'm trying to put together the stupid crudité bullshit that never looks like the photo, no matter how much I try. Yes, crudité. I did tell you I hated crudité, but my friend Robin is in town, and I invited her over, and she's bringing her coworkers, all of whom are vegan, so here I stand, making crudité. Or assembling crudité, or whatever the fuck it is you do. God, I hate this shit. Oh, listen, I gotta tell you about this guy from my office. He might be insane, like, actually clinically insane. But let me start from the beginning. So, Global Credit Association is one of our biggest clients. They kind of keep the lights on at our company. Yes, that is my client. Good job. So their contract ends at the end of the month, and we really, really, really needed them to resign. And I could have gotten them to resign, but Ricky, because he's an asshole, wanted to make sure we sealed the deal. So he brought in this sales guy from the Philly office that he calls his secret weapon. And the plan was to have him work out of the office for a week and help us close. So the guy comes in, his name's Kyle, and he introduces him as this wizard salesman. He's the closer. He's the guy you need to call when you need to turn that maybe into a yes and all this other bullshit. And the guy, Kyle, just stares at the ground and murmurs, "Hi, everyone." Just immediately gives off this super awkward vibe. Like, he doesn't even want to be there. And then later, I show him around the office, and he barely makes eye contact with me. And I ask him if he likes the city, and he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Do you like Philly?" And he says it's fine. And I'm thinking, this guy's gonna save the company? He couldn't even sell me a pack of gum. So we have our first meeting with the client, me, Ricky, Kyle, and on the car ride over, Kyle is doing these breathing exercises, like he's about to have a panic attack, like. And at this point, I'm just praying he stays out of my way so I can do my job. So we get to the office, we meet up with the client, we introduce him to Kyle, and Kyle shakes his hand, looks him dead in the eye, and says, "Mr. Roberts, I gotta tell you, when everyone was telling you to sell Bay State credit and you decided to hold on to it, that was genius." Which sounds like a bullshit line, but when Kyle said it, you kind of believed it. And it worked. Roberts ate it up. And the whole rest of the meeting, Kyle is cool and charming and totally charismatic. And I'm just sitting there thinking, who is this guy? And of course, Ricky's looking at me with this big smirk on his face. I wanted to beat the shit out of him. And then the meeting ends. And we get 2 more meetings that week before he's allowed to make a decision. But as soon as we get back to the office, Kyle goes back to being Kyle. Quiet and uncomfortable. I think this photo's AI. Anyway, the whole rest of the week, Kyle barely says 2 words while he's in the office. I mean, every time I look at him, he's either staring at the carpet or eating Lucky Charms in the break room or making these weird sculptures out of his paper clips. And then we have our second meeting, and it's Mr. Personality again. I mean, Roberts invites him to golf next month, for Christ's sake. 3 years, and I've never been invited to golf. I mean, what the fuck? I cannot figure this guy out, and it's driving me insane. Ow! God damn it. Nothing, it's fine. I told you, it's Robin, my friend from college. She works at that big firm in Chicago, and I really want to meet her coworkers. Did not tell you I hated Robin. She's tough to be around, yes, but she's my friend, and I really need her to introduce me to these people. This could be really good for me. So, 2 nights ago, Kyla and I are the only 2 in the office, and so I ask him how he's able to turn on the charm so easily, and he says he's always been good at imitating people. It's his superpower. He's been doing it since he was a kid. It made his family laugh, and it kept other kids from bullying him. So when he got this sales job out of college, the other guys would train him and he would just imitate them. Except he did such a good imitation that he got better at it than they were. It was like the imitation was better than the real thing. And so I said, I wish I could do that. And he says it bums him out a little bit because he feels like he's not himself. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're at work. No one's themselves when they're driving a bus or shoveling coal or whatever. You make the money to have the freedom to be yourself. I don't actually say any of that. I just pretend to sympathize. And then he says, when he's making a sale, like when he's really in the zone, he feels like he's standing off to the side, watching some other guy talk. Like some guy he doesn't even know. No, he was not trying to fuck me. Jesus. So we have our final meeting last night. Me, Ricky, and Kyle. And we start off with some chit chat, and Roberts admits that he's going through a divorce. So Ricky, in his divine wisdom, decides that he wants to take him to a strip club. And Kyle goes along with it. And somehow we all decided that I should head home for the night. Whatever. So they go and do their thing. And this morning, Ricky comes in and announces that Global Credit Association has signed a 5-year contract with us. He's high-fiving everyone. And Kyle comes in behind him and has this 1,000-yard stare, like he's come back from war. I mean, I think something happened at the strip club last night. But Ricky gets him in front of the office and tells everyone how he saved the company. And then he says, I got a surprise for you. And his assistant brings in a brand new bag of golf clubs. And Kyle takes out a 9-iron and just stares at it. His face goes completely blank, like he's the only person in the room. And then suddenly he takes the 9-iron and swings it right into Ricky's head. Just bam! Ricky drops to the floor, and the whole room is silent. And Kyle puts the 9-iron back in the bag, walks back to his desk, sits down, and just stares at the carpet. And then Paula screams. Everyone freaks out. Finally, someone calls 911, and no one will go near Kyle. They're all too scared of him. And a few minutes later, the police and the EMTs show up, and Ricky's alive, but he's out of it. And the cops put handcuffs on Kyle, and they walk him out. And suddenly, as he's leaving, he looks up at me, and he almost seemed innocent. I think it was the first time I'd seen his real face. I don't think anyone's seen his real face for a long time. Yeah, you're right. He probably just wanted to fuck me. Oh, look, they're gonna be here any minute. Can I call you later tonight? Yeah. Love ya.